They'll tell you to get out of the house. You can't stay in front of the computer all day staring at the screen. That's what people tell you when you're in this state of trying to find anything out there that will bring something. And I do. I get out every day. I walk every day, a couple of times a day, actually. And it is good to clear your head and think about other things, listen to music or podcasts, or listen to the world, watch the world, and marvel at how insignificant so much of what we worry about is in the grand scheme of things, which is no comfort when the rent is due. This is a cute one of the hundreds of applications I send out. I received an email from an organization who said that they had selected me as one of the candidates for this role. The next step in the process would be to fill out an application that they attached and to leave a Saturday open for an interview. Number one, I've never in my entire life, even when I was working retail, when I was a teenager, was never interviewed for a job on a Saturday. That was already kind of odd, but whatever, it's a new world. It was filling out the second application that I thought was a little odd. I mean, I had filled out an application when I submitted my resume for this role. I open up the application, take a look through it. The first about 4 or 5 pages of the application were your typical fill in your work history and all that stuff, education, address, all of that stuff. The remaining pages, which when it was all filled out, fleshed out to about 10, 11, 12 pages. They were all essay style questions that required a lot of thought and definitely more than a paragraph or two. So it took a couple of hours to write this thing, to fill out the rest of this application. I submitted that on a Wednesday. Then Saturday rolls around, and if you're a job seeker, you know this one. When you get that little ding on a Saturday morning, afternoon in your emails, you didn't get the role. So that was when I got my email from this gig on the Saturday telling me I didn't get the job. It's like literally like maybe every 10 or 15 of these applications, they will ask you to put in more work than is really fair or necessary for a role that you're not going to be guaranteed to get. I mean, this long application was not the worst thing I've ever been asked. I just saw something recently that they were asking to create an entire video based on their product. And it's just like, no, absolutely not. Free creative? I think making your candidates jump through hoops and do all these crazy things is, especially this day and age, it's exhausting. And especially when 9.5 times out of 10, it's not going to lead anywhere. It is not going to yield anything. And you don't even know half the time if they're even seeing the things that you're making. There was actually one time, this was the end of last year, that a company asked that you made a 60-second video introducing yourself and talking about why you wanted to work for the company. This is the video I made.
Hi, Matt. I'm Charles Conyers, and this is my video. A little bit about me off the top. I live in... I am married. I have 2 kids. My daughter is studying game design. My son, both my wife and my son are actors. Not only do I produce content professionally, but I produce it on my own. I taught myself Unreal Engine over the last few years. I've written 5 books. 6th one I just finished this summer. And that's all of my spare time stuff. As far as my work is concerned, I mean, you've seen my resume, and I assume you've seen my work. For the last several years now, I've been doing broadcast, corporate, and social video production. I've not only been a creative, I've also been an executive. So I'm not only making all the cool stuff and making all the cool stuff happen, I also logistically have to figure out how it's going to happen. As far as what I would bring to I've had to, throughout my career, straddle between being a creative but also being an executive. And I think that's where kind of like my superpower lies. As far as why I want to work at I looked at your website. The work is pretty. It's nice. You guys have an eclectic clientele, which again, that's right up my alley. So this has been Fit 90 Seconds. Thank you very much for your time, and hope to hear from you.
And that video got me the interview. The whole thing was, this was the first interview, then there would be a second in person where you would meet the entire team, and then they would make the decision from there. I never even made it to meeting the team. In the last 12 months, I think I've had 3 or 4 in-person interviews, which is not great. That's especially not what I've been used to previously in my career, but you know, things are changing. Things have changed a lot.